So I just want to briefly run through the process of how the admin teams within each practice might create a CSV file following running a report of the appropriate patient cohort, and then how you upload that CSV file onto accuBook. And apologies, this is all a bit dry and not as interesting as the previous videos and slides, but this is actually really crucial. If you get this bit wrong, you're not going to be able to invite the right list of patients, and you're not going to save administrative time in as efficient a way as you could if you get it right. Okay, so from that perspective, this is a set of slides just to show you what to do, and it's actually really simple. So you pick a report as shown on this slide. I've picked a report that says total patients who are 80 years old plus and who are still yet to have their first dose of COVID-19 vaccine. So we run that report and then we show patients. Next slide, please. And then you are, obviously we can't show you the patient list because that's patient identifiable info. So that's blank underneath, but you're interested in clicking the button that has a red rectangle around it, which is select output. So we click that button, and then we're presented with another menu. Now, this is a way to customize the output of the SystmOne CSV file. So you're interested in the predefined report output, which is the third option down. If you look at the top three options, you've got default report output, ad hoc report. We're interested in the predefined report output. And what you want to do is click accuBook CV19 CSV output. This is a Northwest London wide shared output that works with accuBook. So not every output that you might create or that you have already in your system will work with accuBook. And the reason for that is because accuBook requires some very specific fields and nomenclature of the fields for it to actually upload your patient list. So I know and appreciate that some practices may already have created custom outputs, and maybe the next bit might be relevant for you, but very, very simply, just click predefined report, click the accuBook CV19 CSV output option, and literally click OK. And after that, your report will refresh. Again, you're seeing a blank page where the patient details would be because of PID, but check your columns. Okay, so you need, these are the minimum prerequisite columns that accuBook requires. And in fact, you don't need any more than this. This is all you need. So you need the title of the patient, name, surname, date of birth, NHS number, and really crucially, mobile phone number, because the more mobile phone numbers that you have, the less administrative time you're going to need to phone patients to ask them to book their appointments. So they should be able to hopefully use the technology and just book by themselves. That's the whole point of all this, to save everybody time, particularly at the practice end, but also for patients as well. They don't have to phone the practice or be phoned to book specific slots. So once you've got your columns there and you're happy and you've got your patient list, you click on Save to CSV. So Shankar, yeah, if we move a page, then you will be presented with your CSV Excel spreadsheet. Just again, check the columns which are highlighted in the red rectangle. And after this point, you just simply save the file at an appropriate location on your computer so that you can find it. And then after that, you're ready to upload the CSV file. This screen is accessed through accuRx, the accuRx site. So once you go back, as was shown earlier on in the video from the colleague in County Durham, you click on invite patients, and then it gives you the option of uploading a CSV file. Next slide, please. And once you've done that, again, as was shown earlier in the video, you'll see a list of patients, some of whom will need to be manually booked, but hopefully most of whom will be able to receive a text message automatically and directly. So next slide, please. So here is the actual output. These are not real patients, so we're allowed to show them to you. But the report will be split, the uploaded report will be split into these two sections. So patients who can receive SMS invites and those who can't, who have to be booked manually. And if you click continue, you will be able to go to the next dashboard, which will allow you to proceed with the manual bookings as required. Okay, so that was the simple bit. The next bit, I mean, you can switch off if you're not interested in it, but for practices who want to customize their CSV file, with particularly adding columns with extra pieces of data, just a quick run through of how you might do that. On the screen that we saw before, when you click the select output button at the top, after you've shown all the patients, if you click predefined report output again, but then what you want to do is create a new predefined report output. So you click that button and then click OK. And the next screen shows you how you go about creating the columns of your customized report. So you click the add new output button as highlighted, and then you click on demographics, and then on the bottom, roughly bottom right of that window, there's a little button which, when you hover over it, says add column, and that is literally adding columns to your CSV report. So you want to add the relevant columns for the accuBook requirements. So if we click on that, we're presented with another menu. Now this is a sub-menu of all the demographic options that you've got. So we clicked demographics earlier as an output. These are all the sub options of demographics in terms of how they would be displayed in columns. So I'm not going to spend too long on this, but essentially here you can pick whatever you want, but the prerequisites, so if we scroll through these slides, Shankar, so you populate each one, and our guide shows you how to do this, so you don't have to worry too much, but this is the important slide. For accuBook to actually work, whatever your other fields might be, other columns within your custom report, the bottom right corner, which is annotated with number 1, need to be present. Otherwise, your report just won't upload into accuBook. Okay, so you must make sure that whatever custom output you have on your CSV file looks like this. Okay, and if in doubt, look at the guide, and it's very straightforward. It's just literally clicking a few drop-down menus and adding some text, and it will look like this slide. Okay, next slide, please, Shankar. So once you've done that, again, you look at, you press OK, and you look at your columns and make sure that your columns are the correct ones that you need, and then you save. You save to CSV. Okay, so the CSV then file opens like we showed before, and hopefully your columns are what you expected.